Welcome back, everybody. It is time for another episode of the Tech Informist podcast. Let's begin. I'm Kevin.
I'm Brad.
And on this episode, we are going to discuss beta software.
Also, the SNES Classic is official.
SpaceX is prepping to launch for the third time in 10 days.
The first iPhone sold 10 years ago.
LG's new 77-inch OLED TV is now available to purchase.
And finally, the LG V30 news.
Welcome back, everybody. It's been a kind of interesting week. Busy, frustrating, fun.
All of the above.
Sad, all the above, yeah. Nice wide range of emotions this week for myself, and I don't know really so much about yours because we haven't really had a lot of chance to talk about anything. It seems like it's been a while.
Yeah, it's busy at work.
Everything's transitioning for so many different people. A lot of moving parts, a lot of different things going on. Speaking of things going on and moving parts and non-moving parts, like we mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about some beta software. I've really got to get this discussion off my chest. Not necessarily a rant, which is why it's not in the weekend rant section, but
more of a heated discussion.
Yeah, from just experience, it's been all over the place this week with trying the iOS 11 beta. So that dropped for the public beta for iOS 11 dropped on Monday, and I thought, okay, I waited to not do a developer preview or developer beta for it. I give them some time. I figured, first public beta, let's try it out and see what happens. So I went ahead and backed up my iPhone like a good person. Always make sure to do that. Just stay with me here, folks, and you'll know why.
I'm a good boy.
I'm a good boy, yeah. So installed it. And me, if you've listened to the show, I've said it over and over again. I like giving operating systems updates a chance at a fresh start. So I like doing factory resets. So here's where the first little thing came into play. You go to do the factory reset. You go to settings, general, whatever, to do a reset. And there's one where you can wipe certain things. You can do a reset, but it's not doing a full reset. I couldn't hit the erase all content and reset the phone. You could tap on it, but it didn't do anything. I'm like, I don't like that. That's worrying me here. So I thought, okay, I'll just do a restore through whichever to try to do a factory reset. And apparently they just don't allow that. I'm like, okay, fine. And it's not that the beta, in my opinion, was running bad. It's just I wanted to give it a fresh restart, clean install, no data, all however many gigs of photos and stuff like that, just wipe it all away.
Whereas somebody like me just sits there and updates, and never gives it a fresh reinstall.
Right. So we're like two different ends of the spectrum, and maybe I'm OCD, just taking it way too seriously. I need to lighten up. But I like doing factory resets. It doesn't bother me. I usually take care of that stuff while watching TV, getting stuff done. So I just look over, tap the button to continue, and it keeps doing what it needs to do while I'm getting other stuff done. Because obviously my phone is not my primary computing device. It seems like some people, it is that for them.
Yeah, I could never do that. Number one, because I'm a mouse kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And number two, I just have so many computers. I mean, I sell computers. I don't know, it's just really hard to do certain things, especially typing. For some reason, my mind connects typing with sitting down at a nice mechanical keyboard, and that's when some of my best ideas come out versus sitting with my phone clenched in both hands trying to type up a bunch of stuff.
Tapping in all these little text boxes. And that's what my wife does. She just does everything on her phone.
No, if
and
it's
God love her, why do you put yourself through that? Because there'll be some kind of glitch or something like that.
Sarah does the same thing. So
it's you got a laptop sitting right there that you could probably get all that stuff done. Just done.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's kind of neither here nor there. So when I thought, oh, fine, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm just going to go back to 10.3.2, the regular thing. Whenever you do a restore or you go to reset via iTunes, it put me on the 10.3.3 beta for iOS 10. I'm like, not bad. No, I was like, that's fine. That's cool. I mean, iOS 10 is solid. I don't think going from 0.32 to 0.33 is going to be an issue. And I thought, okay, so now I'll get a chance to do my factory reset and all this stuff and just start completely over. That didn't go so well either because for some strange reason, even after adding my Google accounts and stuff like that, it didn't want to pull down my Google contacts for phone numbers. I mean, it showed like past phone calls and all that stuff, but no names associated with it. Text my wife, no name associated with the number. I'm like, I'm guilty that I'm another one of these people in modern 2017 society that I don't memorize a whole lot of phone numbers like I used to.
Yeah.
That's what the phone is for.
Yeah. I'm trying to memorize other things.
Right. Too busy trying to memorize other things, like Brad said. So I thought, this is very odd. So, I'm removing accounts, trying to re-add accounts, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm not liking this. So, I go to iMore and some other forums, and I'm posting it out, and people are like, well, have you done ABCD? I'm like, yeah, that's the basic steps. I know to do that, and do this, and do that, do that. Nobody could answer it. So I guess, again, it just boils down to the fact that I'm not doing factory resets. But now I thought, okay. I did go back to 10.3.2 finally. I downloaded I think it's an IPSW, whatever it is they call for like an iOS image. So they downloaded that and restored that via iTunes. And I just went ahead and I said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go back to the backup that I originally had made a couple days before. And got that all set up. And then with watchOS, I never got around to trying the watchOS beta. And then trying to like repair and resync and get that stuff. I had a hell of a time getting it to take the watch face that I was putting together in the watch app. So I had to go set it up 3 or 4 different times. No, it was just very odd. And I guess 2017 is just not a year for me to try these mobile OS betas because I didn't have luck with the Android O beta for my Nexus 6P. It just put it in a stupid boot loop. So I said, screw it, and put it back on factory regular image that's out there. And there's no way I'm putting High Sierra on my Mac. No way in hell. It's just too much stuff going on to try to play around with that. And it's not like I got all these extra MacBooks and iPhones and stuff laying around to put it on. So that's just for me. And I know you've got some beta software experience just from Xbox.
Yeah, so initially when that kind of first was starting to hit, everybody wanted to be a part of it, but they only limited who got in.
Right.
Well, I was lucky enough to be kind of one of those people. And, I started getting some updates like normal. And, I'll be damned if right before when the Gears Ultimate Collection Edition, whatever, for the very first game was coming out, my Day 1 edition Xbox decided it was going to try to brick itself or something. Because it would not... It was like, I think it was just green screen or white or something or black. I can't remember.
And this was before you got
my S.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a year and some change before that.
Right.
So I'm sitting here like I don't know what to do. The game comes out in a week. I'm contemplating just buying a new system and be done with it. But I walked away from it for that night and just left it alone. I looked on the computer for some stuff, was trying to download some USB things that I could just flash it with. And then I tried a few things, it didn't work, and I ran across a post of somebody saying, "Oh, you got to unplug everything, like everything off of every port, leave it for half an hour, plug it all back in." I tried all these weird things that I normally wouldn't try. And eventually I got frustrated to the point where I hit the power button like 5 times in a row. I'm like, work! One of those frustrating, like, oh, I'm going to beat it with a hammer thing.
Right. Oh, you
it
weren't
worked.
using a hammer. Really?
No, I actually wasn't using a hammer. But the frustrating idea of just constantly doing something that's not going to fix it, but then it does. Yeah. And then it's like it started restarting. I'm like, oh, okay, good. Crisis averted.
Yes.
Because I was going to play that Gears game.
Oh, yeah, you were. Yeah, it's one game you're not going to miss, is Gears games. And I guess another issue that I had, that TCL TV that I bought for the living room back in May of last year, and I know I told you about this offline throughout the week, but Saturday, for some reason, it decided, and I wasn't home, so I wasn't there to be watching it.
That's how it always happens.
It is, yeah.
Wife texts you like, "Hey, this thing's broke. What'd you do to it?"
And she was home, and one of our staff members for my stepson, and both of them two were watching the TV. And the TV's had some little glitches where it would just randomly restart. It's done that a handful of times over the year. And this time it just kind of, again, like the Nexus 6P, just went into like a boot loop. You could hear it starting up. You could see this display come on. You could tell it was getting power at least. But it's just a black screen. I'm like, Jesus, little power lights flashing. And then it would do that for 20, 30 seconds, and then it would just restart again. I'm like, so that kind of was very frustrating. Thankfully, and this is a word of advice to everyone out there, when it comes to buying TVs, I'm not usually an extended warranty person, but for some reason with TVs, I do typically buy them.
Same.
Because it's a fairly expensive purchase, and you figure it's going to last a while.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, I did have the extended warranty, Square Trade, filled out the claim, and there's a tech coming. We're recording this on Friday this week, so the tech is coming this afternoon. So after we record this, I'm going to go there, and the parts are already there. They shipped them next day, whatever it was, 2 days. So they came in a couple days ago from some place called Shop Jimmy or something like that. I've never heard of shopjimmy.com or something. Hey, whatever, as long as the parts work.
Yeah.
I don't remember what all the person from Square Trade said that they would be replacing, but hopefully by the end of the day it'll be all up and running and back to normal.
Speaking of warranties, I have a story from work that I'm going to kind of mask a little bit because I don't want to get in trouble for it. But so we had a gentleman come in, and he had bought a warranty through one of our resellers, I won't say which. But he was sent by them to us to try to get a battery issue fixed on his Surface. And the problem is he bought the warranty through someone else, but
like a third party kind of, not associated with Microsoft Store.
Yeah, it was a different store, but it was not associated with. Like, it wasn't a warranty we have.
Right.
Like, he already ran through his 1 year normal warranty, and he was on year 2.5 or 1.5, we'll say. Mm-hmm. But they wouldn't honor how much, I guess, he bought from his warranty. Like, he already made one claim, and then they said that he didn't keep up on payments, or he said they dropped him, or something like that. Which is frustrating and a little annoying that there's nothing that I could do to help him because he bought a warranty from somewhere else.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not typically, again, not the person to buy a warranty for things like that unless, lately, if I were to buy a new PC and it's like $1,000, yeah, I'm going to buy that warranty. Mm-hmm. And if it's a new TV and I'm going to have it for a little while, yeah, I'm going to buy that warranty.
Right.
from the things I've seen lately, it's the thing I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm sure being now in a retail environment, your eyes are opening up to a lot more different things than you're typically used to seeing, just because you only have yourself and friends and family's experiences to go off of.
Well, yeah, people come to the store for two things. They're either there for an issue with their current PC, or they're coming to buy a new one.
Right. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some things it's extended warranties make sense, and others it's like, nah, I don't think so. But if you have any experiences with beta software or anything like that, with whether it's iOS, Android, Windows, I mean, I know when Microsoft's been putting out a bunch of insider builds lately, and again, my machine is production, so it's like I'm not putting anything like that on. I had updated my Windows partition on my Mac, I guess it's been a couple weeks now ago, and it's not on an insider build, it was
just had an update.
Yeah, I don't even think it was the creator's update.
Which reminds me, I just got an Android update this morning. I don't know what it was. I just did it while I was in the shower.
Probably
came
security.
Back. Yeah, probably.
Which something small.
Security always do.
Yeah. But anyway, after rebooting the Windows partition and getting the update all configured, it broke Mixcraft, which is what I use to edit podcasts on. And, well, it kind of makes a problem when you can't use the software to edit.
Which is strange because I did that same update and Mixcraft worked fine.
But maybe it wasn't the same update because I did it on two different machines. I mean, are you still doing Insider?
No, I've never done Insider on my tower because I'm just paranoid now. Because I had that issue a couple of years ago. I think my hard drive just crashed, essentially. Got a new hard drive, hadn't had the issue since. Mm-hmm. So
now, I did notice whenever I did that update, though, it did something with audio codec, something. And that actually happened on both. So maybe that's had something to do with audio drivers or something like that.
Yeah, potentially.
Because it did like re-ask to, hey, do you want to reinstall your sound card here on this tower and this? Like, why are you asking that? It shouldn't have had nothing to do with that.
Shouldn't have been uninstalled in the first place.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just odd. So I'm the person that as soon as I know about an update, I'm boom doing it. So it's really weird for me to be like, whoa, no, no update, update.
I'm that way with Xbox, but everything else I kind of delay it a couple of days. Like, so instance, I think the update normally is on Tuesdays, right, for Windows 10?
Typically, yeah.
I usually delay it till about Thursday, like Thursday night, and then I'll boot it up, check it out, or maybe Friday the next morning or something. Because I always turn it off when I leave, so.
Yeah, so what was that? I guess it was last weekend after I got my Kinect, which I got a really good deal on my Kinect for my Xbox One.
You did.
For like $25. And it had the box. It still has the Just Dance game card or whatever, so I could download that if I want to. And it was almost new. I mean, like I said, it had everything with it.
With a Kinect, I'm less worried about getting those used. I don't know. I just feel like there's less moving parts. There's less to go wrong.
Yeah, it's a camera and the microphone.
Yeah, so
that's it.
If you can find a good deal on a Kinect, if you want one, I mean, I still have an extra that I don't know what to do with yet. So
yeah, I mean, I like sitting there saying, "Hey Cortana, turn Xbox off." Or, hey, Cortana, turn Xbox on.
You just ruined somebody's day.
I might have. It depends on if they're playing this over their speakers. Most people are listening in the cars or listening on headphones, but you never know. But it was really weird to have that. And I mean, I'd seen it on Facebook Marketplace, I thought. And I'd seen it earlier in the day and the day before, and it was one price. And then now Facebook Marketplace will give you a notification when you go back and says, hey, such and such item that you looked at, prices dropped. And it was down to like $30. I thought, man, that's not bad. But she couldn't meet the day that I wanted to do that, so I thought, well, if I come pick it up from you, she's like, I'll take another $5 off. I'm like, okay. So.
Yeah, I've been kind of using the Facebook Marketplace a little bit, looking for wheels for my car because I have an issue with my car. It's a known issue. It's just the way the manufacturing process worked. The chrome starts to peel off of the wheel, and it's an aluminum wheel, so like the adhesion between the chrome and the aluminum just wasn't right, wasn't correct, just didn't work. And they look pretty rough right now, so
makes it a little unsightly.
Yeah.
That's what happens. It's a
hoopty right now.
13-year-old car now.
Yeah, something like that. 2014 or 2004. Yeah. So do the math.
But hey, it's still nice. It still runs good.
Yeah, it runs great.
It runs great.
Knock on wood.
All right. So we've talked numerous times about the NES Classic and
about how it could be a thing.
Right.
How we thought that surely Nintendo is going to make this.
Yeah. Now the Super Nintendo Classic is official, and this all started coming out Monday as well. That all this news and the list of games and everything.
I was surprised that they announced the date and how much it would cost, like day and date of the talking about it.
Yeah. So it's going to be available, obviously, in North America, pretty much around the world. And there's 3 different versions. You've got the North American Super Nintendo style, which is gray, purple, power reset buttons, and same with the controllers. You've got the UK version that it looks, it's got the red, yellow, and I can't think what, blue and green buttons, I think.
Yep.
And the slightly different console look to it.
Yeah, the Super Famicom,
Super
basically.
Famicom, yes. And then that's also the same visual that it'll be in Japan as well. Games are a little bit different. There's only 21 this time around.
I'm assuming that that's due to storage.
I would presume. Obviously, it doesn't seem like they're getting much beyond the 300, however much memory they put in the NES Classic. Looks like they're just doing the same thing.
But to be fair, some of these games are much longer than the NES games.
Yeah, they take up more storage than Nintendo games do. And some of the games are Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Donkey Kong Country, Super Punch-Out, Contra 3, Earthbound, Star Fox 2, the
which
unreleased,
was never released. I never thought Nintendo would do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yet here we are once again. Now, I never played the original Star Fox, but I'm a huge Star Fox fan. I absolutely love the 64 and the GameCube stuff, and just recently played the Wii U stuff, which it was okay, but the gamepad made it weird. But regardless, I do like Star Fox quite a bit.
Yeah, so obviously my excitement hype level just skyrocketed. It's like, oh my god, this is really happening, and it will be released on September the 29th of 2017.
Looks like we're going to go stand in line that day.
Yes, possibly. Depending on pre-orders or not, because there's been UK pre-orders, there's been pre-orders pretty much all around the world except the United States.
Like last time.
Yeah. So this is getting a lot of people scratching their head and kind of, in a way, getting upset at Nintendo that knowing how popular the NES Classic was and that bungling of how I feel that Nintendo handled it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in this way, they've rectified one glaring issue with the NES Classic by adding in the second controller right there in the box. You don't have to hunt down for the even more elusive than the console itself second controller.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I've seen more NES Classics than I did the controller.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is going to come with the console and 2 controllers right in the box.
I don't mind paying the extra $20.
No. I completely agree.
Just to have it all in the one box. It just makes sense. I wish the NES Classic would have done that to begin with. I still am puzzled slightly that Nintendo doesn't want to keep making something that's going to keep selling.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll revisit the idea. in the future. I don't know. I mean, this is Nintendo we're talking about, so
Right.
I kind of doubt it, but who knows?
So, according to Nintendo, they have said that they are going to increase production and release more units.
But in a smaller time frame.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that they're going to be making or selling them beyond the end of 2017. Now, one great thing about this is by launching on September 29th, that is over a month earlier than they launched the NES Classic, which was like the first week of November.
Yeah.
Which that in itself...
That's too close to Black
That was
Friday.
a crazy, insane time for them to release that. Because it had been announced a couple months earlier. So obviously they've had time to... They had time to build up and ramp up production for that. If they don't open up pre-orders in the United States, I'd be really, really surprised, because there's already like landing pages for Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart. I've got all the notifications set up to get alerted when it goes on sale. I've got Twitter alerts set up for some major accounts that will immediately say that it's available. Now, when the UK Amazon opened up their pre-orders, I pre-ordered one, and it apparently right now, as far as I know, it's going to go through. I mean, I know during there it says does not ship to U.S., but I still went through with my purchase, chose the global standard shipping. So if it does release and the purchase does go through and they do ship it out, I should get it between October 4th and October 10th, which I don't mind waiting a few days.
A couple days to still
Yeah.
have one. I personally really like the Super Famicom more than the Super
Right.
Nintendo. I mean,
I want both. I'm not going to sit here
Yeah.
and skirt the issue. I want both because they both look fantastic. Sure, they may both play the same game. I don't care. I just want both
It's
because
the
they're going to look
aesthetics.
great on the shelf.
Mhm.
So hopefully Nintendo don't screw this up. And it's only $80. So it is, yeah, like we mentioned, it's $20 increase.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're getting 9 fewer games.
but they're longer.
Longer.
They're more involved. The systems are better. I mean, honestly, just between Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Donkey Kong Country, and Yoshi's Island, you'll be busy for a while.
And the Zelda game, and then all these multiplayer games like Super Mario Kart, F-Zero, Street Fighter 2, Turbo, Super Punch-Out. I mean, hello. Mega Man X, Kirby Superstar, which is 8 games in one. So if you look at it, you're kind of getting back up to almost 30 games. When you throw in that Kirby Superstar being 8 games. Super Mario RPG. I mean, there's plenty of fantastic games on here. I'm bummed. And I know the internet is just a buzz, and scalpers are already getting their plans out there because they're already doing pre-order stuff on eBay. So stores haven't done pre-orders, but by God, the scalpers have already done their pre-orders.
Yeah, I refuse to scalp anything that I take pride and joy in.
Yeah.
I feel like those people, there's a special place for you, a certain other place, but...
So I do like the fact on this design how you fold down that little front, and that's where you plug in the controllers.
Yeah, it kind of hides that newer, in quotations, port from the Wii, I guess, that they've been using on pretty much everything lately.
Right. So the same connections is used on the NES Classic and like Wii Classic controllers and stuff like that.
Yes, my 8-bit controller will work.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
Yeah, so wireless controllers should work just fine with this, and which works out great because I've already got the Super Bit-Do or whatever from 8-Bit-Do.
Yeah.
So I've already got a wireless Super Nintendo controller that
Yep.
should theoretically work just fine with no problem.
Yeah, should.
So what I'm thinking of doing this weekend is doing on my NES Classic, putting the original 30 that was on the NES Classic and then these 21, 22 games from the SNES Classic and just putting it on my NES Classic. And that way I say, oh, I've got both in one system right now. Because fit fine and not worry about the Atari and some of the other stuff on there.
My personal thing is eventually get it to the point where I can have most of the NES games that I would ever play on the one and most of the Super Nintendo games that I would ever play on the other.
Mm-hmm. Because the connections are the same as the NES Classic, so I'm sure
somebody's going to
I'm
find
sure
out.
there's going to be a hack key.
Yep.
I don't see, because it's the same.
Give it time.
Same connections.
Who knows? Maybe it's just a plug-and-play system. Maybe it'll be so similar that they figured out day one, you know?
It could be, yeah. I'm sure that guy's going to get his hands on it right away, and we'll find out. And it could, Hackchi could work the same, where just you plug in whatever system you want to mess with. You don't have to do much updating. I don't know. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Oh,
quickly.
yes.
All right, Brad, you are the space guy. You're the SpaceX fan. I love what they're doing, but I'm sure you would like to be the one that talks about this.
I'll talk to it about it as best as I can, because I guess I wasn't aware that SpaceX is set for a third Falcon 9 launch in less than 10 days. But I know the first two were pretty close to each other, and it was kind of a big deal because, you know, as far as I can recall, it's the first time we've ever reused a rocket for multiple missions.
In this short time period.
In this short of a time period, and the more this keeps happening and keeps working, the cheaper everything in space flight is going to be. It's going to become commercialized here shortly, the way things are going. And actually, they just updated their rockets with these, I forget what they call them, but they're like waffle cone shaped claw things that help with re-entry. Like he keeps adding little designs here and there just to make it, little tweaks to make it just right. But apparently this Sunday they're set to launch the next Falcon 9 rocket. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so it's going to be launching out of Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida, carrying the Intelsat 35E, which is a broadband communication satellite. And Spaceflight Now reports that the launch window will open at 7:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So again, that is Sunday, July the 2nd. And the other launches were on June the 23rd and June 25th. So that's pretty dang cool, using the same rocket to do all these launches in this short amount of time.
Just under 10 days.
Yep. If for some reason that launch window is not good and it has to be delayed, it's going to be Monday the 3rd. So that's kind of what they're looking at. SpaceX representatives have also said apparently the company has a lot of things that are being wanted or needing to be done. So they've got approximately 70 missions already backlogged.
Which equals $10 billion.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But, I mean, again, never, ever bet against Elon Musk because you're probably going to lose. Mm-hmm. He's been quite busy with the Boring Company lately, too. He started tunneling and making that system, too, as a prototype, along with the Hyperloop. I mean, he's got SpaceX underway.
Model 3's coming from Tesla.
Tesla and Solar City are one now, so I mean,
think the solar panels will be available in 2018 or something like that.
No, they're sold out.
Oh, they're sold out.
They're like completely sold out. You can't even begin to think about ordering them till late next year now. I mean, that's a good problem to have, I guess.
Everything he's touching right now
turns to gold.
Is turning to gold right now. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. So many different things. And I know it's not all coming from one guy, but he's the face of all this technology.
Again, you got to have the guy with the idea to start up the company and get the company to actually succeed. Mm-hmm. We haven't had a new American car manufacturer succeed since, like, way, way back in the old days.
Right.
So
Henry Ford and General Motors company that started it, and Dodge Brothers and Chrysler and all that stuff. Yeah.
It's rated the fourth most in the world for when it comes to car manufacturers. Like, he's worth more than pretty much all the other American companies now.
Yeah.
They just passed Ford, so the guy's got it going on.
And that Model 3 will be launching in the not too distant future, I believe, isn't it?
Should
Those
be very soon.
first rounds of pre-orders should be arriving.
It'll be
within the
this
coming
year,
months. Yeah.
but it will not be what I would order because it's just like the like base model
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean, some people are okay with that. I personally would rather have the all-wheel drive.
Yeah, I mean, I would want whatever they release now just to get a head start and get a feel for it, and then when the other one comes out, be like, okay, I'm ready to sell this one off, trade it in, whatever, and then move up, take that step up. Sometimes I'm not a very patient person. I see something that's like, click, buy.
Pretty
Really?
much.
And I'm horrible about that, but what are you going to do? Speaking of waiting, I know earlier this year we talked about this is the 10th year of the iPhone. So getting ready to come out with the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus and all that stuff later this year. Early October, obviously. But recently, on June the 29th, was the official 10th anniversary of the iPhone becoming available for purchase. And again, it's still hard to believe that the iPhone has been around for 10 years now.
Feeling old yet?
Yeah, it's really hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when it launched or when they had announced it, how big of an idea it was, but no one could even begin to estimate how big of a meteor strike this was to the entire industry of electronics.
Yeah, I mean, in the United States, you had to be on AT&T. That was the only carrier you could get it on.
Which at the time I was.
Right.
So, I had the option, but I was not able to secure one because it's too expensive.
Yeah, because it was like $500-something, and then you're still paying
the contract and all that
So, I mean,
stuff.
that was the subsidized price.
Yeah.
It was $500-600.
I mean, there's a world where this could have failed.
Very easily, yeah.
And imagine how different everything would be because of that. I mean, maybe Apple wouldn't even be a company at this point now. That's strange to even think about.
Yeah, you would have to say, I mean, the iPod was very successful, obviously, but the iPhone really took Apple to a new level.
It's 70% of what they do. I mean, to have 70% less of what they do, that's a huge chunk of change there.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, it wasn't all happy, glowing reviews. So Ad Age listed the title of its review, Why the iPhone Will Fail, and said within there that, quote, it will be a major disappointment, end quote. TechCrunch ran a piece headed, We predict that iPhone will bomb, arguing that battery life and cracked screens would be major issues. And cracked screens were major issues. It was horrible.
For years. They still are.
Yeah, technically they still are. If you just go to a mall, go to a public place with a lot of people. And
if you still have them all open around you.
That's true, too. That's true, too. They're kind of going the way of the dodo, in a way. And, of course, Steve Ballmer laughs at the iPhone. That video
I think that was a nervous laugh. I think he understood what was going on, but you can't show that when you're a public-facing figure
of a competing technology company. I don't know. Did you have one of those first iPhones that first years?
I never had a first iPhone, but I will say that iOS and the iPod Touch second generation is the device that got me into tech. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for me obtaining that device and finding out, oh, wow, I can download apps and actually read up on tech every day, and this is cool. Like, this is way cooler than holding a newspaper, for me. Mm-hmm. It was a birthday present from, at the time, my girlfriend, who is now my wife, and she also bought me a Nintendo DS, too. Like, she always bought me cool stuff.
She treats you good.
Yeah, she bought me the first Kinect. Like, yeah, she always treats me good. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
You got to keep her there.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that device, I may not be sitting here talking to you guys. So I have to give Apple props whether you like them or not. That's part of the reason I'm here. Although eventually I sort of found my way to liking and understanding Microsoft products more. And now I work for them. So it's just funny how the way things work sometimes.
Mm-hmm. No, still impressive that, again, 10 years. And if anybody out there that's listening, tell us what it was about the iPhone that drew you to it originally. And if you had one, and if you still have that, what do you think of it now? Do you still look back on it fondly and kind of like a treasured, prized possession?
I would say no, in my opinion. I find it... I look on it more fondly now than I do like back in the day, so to speak.
Yeah,
the technology's better. They know what they're doing. The design's better. And with the supposed rumors of the upcoming iPhone, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a pretty cool showing of look how far we've come in 10 years of, with the OLED, whatever it's going to be, the iPhone 8 or something.
Yeah, that presentation when they do unveil the iPhone 8 is definitely going to be one I'm going to want to make sure to watch.
And that's going to be at their new spaceship place, isn't it?
Yeah, more than likely. Presume that's going to be in September. So I am looking forward to watching that because it's going to be a very nostalgic walkthrough memory lane, I'm sure, of the iPhone to help celebrate the 10 years and, what is old and now here we are today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be good, and hopefully whoever is in charge of writing that script does a really good job of storytelling.
Yeah.
Make it exciting, not blah, 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 blah. Because some of the more recent presentations have not been as exciting. And I know this next story is right up your alley as well, because LG has finally released that humongous 77-inch OLED TV.
The wallpaper one.
Yes.
The one that's like as thick as, like, was it 3 or 4 dimes or something ridiculous?
Ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, so if you'd like to order this TV, I guess you would need to have them ship it to you because you wouldn't have a car to buy it or to bring it home in because it's cost the amount of a car, $19,999. So yeah, unless you have disposable income, and by disposable income I mean a lot of disposable income, I don't think any of us will see this anytime soon.
Yeah, so $20,000, and it is 0.2 inches thick, offers 4K support for HDR10 and Dolby Vision.
It's a gorgeous thing. I can't wait till it gets cheaper.
First world problem.
Pretty much. I will say, though, I really do see this being a new way TVs are going to be made, presented in the living room. I stand by that. I think that, yes, it's expensive now. I mean, most of that's due to the size of it. But that smaller one was more in the wheelhouse of a normal high-end TV. What was it, the 55 or 65?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, since you can purchase the TV from your local Best Buy and supported retailers, hopefully Best Buy is going to have some demos in stores.
On display.
I would love to go take a look at this thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not going to buy one, obviously, because I ain't get $20,000 to drop on a TV.
I mean, I'm just going to say it kind of blows anything Samsung makes out of the water, just the presentation of it alone.
Yeah.
It's LG's OLED panels, which are second to none.
Right.
But that's just my opinion.
You look at this and you just think, wow. That's all I can say. Just, wow. And I haven't even seen the TV in person yet, and I'm already saying, wow.
Yeah, we'll have to, or if any of our listeners tend to see this before we do, let us know what you think.
Share your thoughts with us.
And pictures.
It's amazing, or, not for $20,000. And obviously this is an early adopter kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta definitely be somebody, one, with the disposable income, and two, you're just that kind of audio-visual person that you're just enthusiastic about it.
Which I will say, I sort of mentioned this, bought the TV from 2011, got the free one from 2017. It makes a huge difference buying a little more right when you get the product you want and just buying that little bit more, how long it lasts. Because my 2011 TV just outperforms everything that little, the free 2017 one does. It's amazing, really.
Yeah. Well, with the one you got in 2017, it's not like you expected to get this anywhere near top of the line.
Yeah. I mean, it still is LED, which is good. That's cool. It's better than LCD, regular LCD.
Where do you have it at the moment?
It's in my office.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of just shoved up against the wall, which is nice. It got all kinds of room in there now. I mean...
And do you guys have a TV in your bedroom?
No.
No.
We don't really watch TV in there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're usually on our phones or we're sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you had one in there. You thought, I'm just going to put it in here.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit in there. Just the way everything's set up.
How big? It's 46?
It's 49.
49.
Yeah.
That's a good-sized television.
Especially for a small apartment in St. Louis.
Yeah. That's true.
I would have loved to have had it in the living room, but again, as soon as we turned on videos and started watching it, you could see the difference immediately. So, but that's okay.
And have you tried to adjust the settings to?
Oh yeah, that was the first thing that I did. I turned the Xbox on and just started adjusting settings. I know what my Xbox looks like, and this is not it.
Okay.
But yeah, I turned Gears of War on, messed with the settings as much as I could to my knowledge base, and it's just, it's free.
Right.
And it's not broken this time.
I was going to say, and this one's not broken.
So, not broken free TV is better than a broken free TV.
Right. I wonder if it was the same UPS driver that delivered this one.
As far as I know, it was. Who knows?
20% of his deliveries don't have to go back. So thankfully, this one fell into that 20%.
Yeah. Maybe I'll win a Nintendo today too. I'm just that lucky.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch on Amazon Prime prize or something like that is possibly valuable. I don't know. Going back to LG or staying with LG, the LG upcoming V30 flagship is reportedly going to drop that second display that it has been known for with the last two releases.
Which, honestly, I'm kind of fine with. I think they're more focused on making a solid device that looks fantastic and performs above and beyond.
With the latest specs. So this is kind of its Galaxy Note, you would say.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit bigger. Obviously, it doesn't have a stylus, S Pen, whatever you would like to call that for input.
Although there are rumors that it could come with one. So we'll see.
Or have that capability built in.
Mm-hmm.
And they are also going to switch to OLED displays.
Yes, I champion that because it is just, when you see it, it's just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And the same source that is discussing this display change has also confirmed a few additional details, that it should launch with a Snapdragon 835, which is a bump up from the 821, I think that's in your G6. Yep. It's going to come with 4 gig of RAM, and there will be variants with a 64 gig of storage, and the device will also retain the micro SD card slot for storage expansion.
It seems to be like all staple things that LG provides. I'm sure it'll have a bigger battery because of the larger screen, and waterproof or water resistance. IP68, all the fancy bells and whistles that we're used to, and probably a slightly improved camera, being as this one was slightly improved from the G5 and the V20. So,
right. If I would say that as long as it's just kind of a larger G6 with even more updated internals.
Yep.
It should be a success as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I love my G6. This on paper sounds fantastic. I can't wait to try one out just for kicks. I will still probably hold out for the G7 because that's just I like the G line. It's been good to me so far.
And a lot of other people out there that talk and write and cover smartphones and stuff like that, they still say the G6, it's a solid device.
That camera, though, it is great. It is so good lately. It rivals, I would say, a lot of Lumia devices back in the day, which is funny to say because that's a couple of years ago now. But, I mean, it took them a little while to catch up, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Camera-wise.
Right. So hopefully at IFA 2017 in Berlin, which should not be too far away. Just I think that's in August.
I would imagine
July or August. We should get the final details and locations, carriers, all this stuff. I think it'll be good. And again, it's LG and they've got great hardware. They're not doing the modular stuff, hopefully. Just make it a nice phone. Just a bigger display of the G6, newer internals, and be good to go.
I believe August 31st.
Okay.
So
very late August.
Yeah.
It's time to move into app entertainment and hardware picks, even though there's no hardware pick this time. And first up, friend and listener of the show, Daryl Pritchard down in Texas, sent a couple suggestions over to us to check out. One of them, the first one that we're going to talk about, is a Netflix TV series called Glow. And Glow stands for Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. And this series is to kind of go back over the 80s series, we'll say, of the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. And yes, that's professional wrestling, not just the WWE Divas style. This is like back then when they were really just focused on all the wrestling and stuff. And this stars Allison Brie, and I know Mark Maron plays a character as well. And I've watched a couple episodes, and I guess it hasn't really grabbed on to my attention as much so far. I think I'm on episode 3, and I think I'll probably continue and I'll watch the full season, and maybe it'll, at the end, I'll be like, okay, yeah, that was really good to watch. But so far it's been, get there. It's a 10-episode run, and of course, Netflix. All 10 episodes are available. So is this something that sounds like you might be interested at all in? I mean, I don't see you as a pro wrestling kind of person.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could give it a shot. I mean, it's Netflix, so
yeah.
Maybe. Really, it's kind of that second pick that's got me really interested. The Silicon Cowboys.
Yes.
That looks fascinating. Just the name alone is like, what do we got going on here?
Mm-hmm. So Silicon Cowboys came out in 2016. It's a documentary that tells the story of Compaq Computer and its 3 founders who in 1982 took on Goliath IBM at the height of its PC dominance. So 2 suggestions from the 1980s covering 1980s topics.
A little nostalgia for some of us.
Yeah, so this is available on Netflix as well. So free to stream and check out. And I'm sure it's available on other places as well. But if you're already a Netflix subscriber, you might as well just watch it for free, just in case it's not a Prime Video offering at the moment.
And a reminder to all of you gamers out there, especially those of you under the Xbox platform, Microsoft is doing its Ultimate Game Sale of 2017 now, and I would say a lot of the stuff rivals that of Steam sales. So if you're kind of into games, especially Xbox, because that's what the sale is. Sorry, I just picked it. That's what I do.
Yep.
I work there too, so what are you going to do? Yeah, I bought Assassin's Creed Syndicate last night because it was $20 for me. So I'm going to brush up on some Assassin's Creed before the new one comes out because that new one looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's too long of a list to even try to go through with you guys. just know that there are some really good Xbox One and Xbox 360 games. I would say specifically for the 360, things like The Dark Arisen, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, Fallout titles, Red Dead Redemption, things like that.
And you can get a Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 Deluxe combo for $39.60 if you are a gold subscriber. That's fantastic.
And then there will also be sales at the retail store. I don't know what they are because I'm the last to know usually. But they will be happening as well this next week coming up. Or presumably starting today, which is the day we record, Friday the 30th. So keep an eye out on that.
Mm-hmm. And just one other little thing, too, talking about gaming real quick, that the Call of Duty, which version? The Modern Warfare Remastered is
So
now
it got remastered for the PS4. It's the first version to get it, of course. Standalone, which I said was going to happen. Mm-hmm. I love being right sometimes. Mm-hmm. $40, I believe.
Yeah, that's awful high for just a couple dollars more. You can darn near pick up.
I'm sure that's what they're wanting you to think.
Yeah.
I, however, could care less, and I'm going to just go ahead and buy that $40 game when it comes out on Xbox, probably a month later. I will go ahead and say it, like, by the end of July, early August, we're probably going to have it on the Xbox. So just hang tight. It'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm in no rush. I just bought Assassin's Creed, so I'm fine.
Yeah. And
I've been playing a lot of Gears lately, so if you are wanting to play Gears, just hit me up, I guess. Holy Shadows.
Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of spent a little bit more time lately on Titanfall 2 since all these free updates and all this stuff. So new Titan, all these new maps, new game modes, and now in this latest one you can now carry 3 weapons. So you can have your regular assault rifle, whatever, you can have your anti-Titan, and then you can also have an anti-pilot, just a standard pistol or whatever if you want. So now you can carry 3 weapons.
Yeah, so it was 2 for the longest time.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I like the 3-weapon system more. I think it makes more sense to me. Destiny is sort of moving to a different set of that, Destiny 2, rather. And you'll have 2 main weapons or something along those lines of what we would consider main weapons back in day 1 or year 1 of Destiny. And like one... not heavy weapon, but like special/heavy weapon. It could be either or. You can't just have a sniper, a rocket launcher, and a regular assault rifle or things like that. It's changing, so yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's still good. I mean, they've really changed some stuff up and kind of leveled and balanced some things out. It's been fun. I think lately I've been running with the C927. It's pretty powerful, a little fast automatic gun. Like, wow.
Wasn't it the car that was pretty popular for a little while?
Hemlock, I think.
Yeah, okay. I can't remember. It's been a minute.
There's so many different, yeah.
It's been a minute since I played it, too. So
a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's not just a minute. It's been a while. Yeah. It's still fun and probably still my favorite shooter of this current season, we'll say.
I'll say it's one of my favorite first-person shooters, easily.
Yeah, I just love the variance of play styles. I mean, you can, if you don't want to get in your Titan, you just want to call it in and let it autopilot, auto-Titan it's on its own, and you just continue to run around as a pilot.
There's actually modes where no Titans are involved at all. It's just pilots.
Pilots versus pilots, or just now Titan Brawl, where it's just Titans versus Titans.
Yeah. They got it figured out.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's cool stuff. And last but not least, it's time for this week's beer pick of the week. Take it away, Brad.
So this week I had another one of my last Florida beers that I picked up, and this is from Sarasota, Florida, and it's Bell Cow from J-Dubs Brewing Co.
Moo.
Yeah, the can looks like a cow, if you haven't seen it. But it's a porter, but it's a milk chocolate porter, which is not usually something you see. Usually you see milk chocolate stouts, right?
Right, yes.
But with this porter, I guess the creaminess comes through more, the sweetness comes through more. There's something more about it, because I have not had a milk chocolate stout. Sorry, I have not had a milk chocolate beer this good in quite some time. For the first time. Obviously, I constantly have Four Hands milk chocolate stout here in St. Louis area, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And there's like Left Hand Brewery's milk chocolate stout. That is also good. But this is not a stout. It is a porter. So very interesting take on a porter. Very delicious. 0 IBUs. It's all sweetness and creaminess. Not overly sweet. But it's 5
and creaminess.
Yeah, it's 5.6 ABV. And overall, it's got like a 4, solid 4. I gave it a 4.5. I thought it was great. So I would definitely check these guys out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I mean, to get a solid 4 for an average out of 7,600 ratings, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and we did the Pride Parade for Microsoft this past Sunday here in St. Louis, along with 29 other stores here in the U.S. We all sort of were out representing, and after that, I had planned to go to Urban Chestnut, but ended up at Schlafly here in St. Louis, and I had never done the tour at the original location, so I sort of stuck around for the tour there, and I found out why I liked the coconut cream ale so much.
Why is that?
Because it has pineapple in it.
Really?
And I'm on a huge pineapple kick.
It has pineapple in it?
Yep. That's why I think I like it so much.
Could be.
Yeah, it's good in bottle. It's fantastic on draft. But yeah, so just a side note.
Yeah, nice. It was good. I've been kind of light on beer myself lately. And it's kind of like not really as much into it at the moment.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
it comes and goes.
I go through phases.
It ebbs and flows.
I guess I'm more of a kind of fall, winter beer kind of person.
Yeah, totally. Like most of the spring beers, meh.
It could be. So again, all links to pretty much everything that we have talked about will be in the show notes, which you can find on our website at techinformist.com. Thank you all so much for listening. If you have any suggestions or feedback or anything else that you would like to reach out and share with us and let us know your thoughts, what you're thinking of, please make sure to either email us or hit us up online. Email is contact@thetechinformist.com. And again, Twitter is @techinformist, @KevinHarbell, @holy_shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that pretty much does it. And I guess we're going to sign off, and everybody have a very safe 4th of July. Don't be doing fireworks out of your hands and stuff like that. Just use proper precautions and safety measures and go into your fireworks display with 10 fingers and 10 toes and come out with it with 10 fingers and 10 toes. Or if you've already had some kind of an accident or unfortunately a birth defect, whatever you go in with, come back out with.
I don't mess with that stuff anymore. I did as a kid a lot, and I just like to say that I'm just good watching. But after going to Disney World and watching their fireworks, everything else is just like, meh.
Yeah, it's like, cool. Yeah, you see fireworks popping off just driving down the interstate these days in the evening, which is always nice. But anyway, have a very fantastic 4th of July weekend. And until we talk again next week, consider yourself informed. We're out of here.
Bye-bye.